What's up, Blazies? It's Casey Ariel, founder of Blaze Group and your host of Blaze Group Radio. I will be talking about the intersections of Black womanhood, entrepreneurship, news on the culture, and healing as we climb. I launched Blaze Group after spending a decade in corporate America structuring multi-billion-dollar loans for large tech firms, but never once working on a deal team with another Black woman. I left to take world-class knowledge to the streets. Blaze means building leaders and accepting zero excuses, and we go beyond the bare minimum. More than solutions, we create lifelines that help Black women become as limitless as they feel. Snuggle up to this episode. May it feel as safe and nourishing as Big Mama's house did. What's up, Blazies? It is Monday, February the 5th, and I hope you're feeling centered at the top of your week. If things have been anything like mine for you, there could be a million things going on, and you might find yourself at every minute tempted to make concessions on your boundaries and concessions on the promises you made to yourself around how you start your mornings, how you balance your day, what you will and won't do in a single day. And my prayer is that together we can settle back in to our equilibrium and find that balance. It is coming. It is here. Today, I want to share some funding strategies with you in hopes that it can aid you in thinking about how you meet some of your goals and acquire some of your needs inside of your business. This may be a refresher in some areas and a light bulb moment in others, but feel free to grab a pen and a pad and jot down these sources. So number one is bootstrapping. And bootstrapping is very common, especially for Black women entrepreneurs, in that we are underfunded by external resources. And so it looks like tapping your personal savings, tapping your liquidity, right? Whether that is operational revenues that you have in your business and reinvesting it entirely back into your business, right? It came from the inside. That could be tapping on the cash of our friends and family, whether it be through donations or loans. But bootstrapping is figuring it out internally rather than sourcing external funds. And something I want you to understand, because it's not talked about enough, is that bootstrapping revenue is a viable strategy for funding your business. Maybe you are a freelancer with a high value skill that can allow you to consult or coach or train or tutor or build things for folk. And with that bootstrapped revenue, you can pour money into what you're building. Don't sleep on bootstrapped revenue. Crowdfunding is another option. There's crowdfunding that can happen where you don't have to pay anyone back. I Fund Women is a beautiful example of this. You can offer your products. You can offer early access to something that you're releasing later. And you don't have to pay that money back. But you can also crowdfund with loans. Kiva is an example of that. They offer interest-free, zero-fee loans that are crowdfunded from thousands and thousands and thousands of folks around the world who want to pour into entrepreneurs. That money, though, is paid back without interest. Grants is another option. My friends over at SistaBiz, they actually launched an app recently called The Suite. And a new feature was recently released. I was just chopping it up with Makisha, their founder, a couple of days ago. They just released a feature that not only gives you a directory of funding that is out there, including grants, but a check tracker, right? Where you can check off what you've already applied for and you only see the stuff that you haven't applied for. Pitch competitions is another example. Data shows that Black women enter less pitch competitions than men do. Black Girl Ventures is super dope for the pull-up and pitch competitions that they do around the country. And it is essentially you for 2 to 3 minutes spitting your idea, spitting your vision, and attempting to win some quick cash that you don't have to pay back. Incubators is another example of a strategy around fundraising. These typically help you with an idea, not a fully fledged business, where over a pretty long period of time, I'm talking 4 to 8 months, you are being guided through the development of that idea. But there can be funding involved, and mentors and peers, right? And then accelerators are similar, but they're a lot more intense. I've done a few of those, and those are typically shorter. 1 to 3 months, what you can think about an accelerator as a lot of information very quickly, but you can get funding with accelerators. I've gotten funding through accelerators and grants and crowdfunding and bootstrapping. Bank loans is an obvious one, right? We hear stuff about loans all the time. You can use credit cards, you can use equipment financing loans, you can use invoice receivables loans where they front you the money 30 days ahead of your invoice pays and they just take a 3% interest. That's an example of that. I use that as well. But bank loans, term loans, right? They can be lines of credit. So many options there. Microfinance loans. This is more common offshore, but it does exist, where you get small amounts of cash, maybe $500, maybe $1,000. So it's easier to pay back, but it gets you over a hump. Angel investments are another strategy that you can tap, where you go into environments where there are high net worth individuals, or maybe there are folks who are friends of your family, maybe not in your immediate circle, but the secondary or tertiary circle. You pitch your idea, you flesh it out in ways that people can get behind the numbers and they can invest. You might have to give up some equity, but that is a route you can take. And then venture capital is something that we talk about a lot these days, but we're not being funded, right? Less than 0.33%. Okay. Black women are getting venture capital, but that is an example of you having a business that can grow really, really, really big, really, really, really quickly. And you take money from venture capitalists, you give up equity for that money. And then when you sell the company, when you IPO it, or any other liquidity event, somebody acquires you, you get your money back and they get their money back. Right? But more than was put in. Typically, they're looking for an IPO event, which means an initial public offering where you're issuing stock into the market, and that's how you get the money back. But these are some options. I hope this is helpful. Love and light to you on the journey. Thank you so much for tuning in to Blaze Group Radio. Remember, you have not yet met all of the people in your life who are going to love you, so keep going. Download the Blaze Group app for day-to-day support on your entrepreneurial journey. Until next time.